What did you buy as an adult because you were denied it as a child? Braces. When I was 50. They worked and I still feel proud at it. Guitars. After buying about 20, it dawned on me that no amount of guitars will put one in the hands of me at 10 years old. I bought an ice cream cake for no reason once. The freedom is palpable. When I was little, my grandma bought one of those fiber optic flower lamps. I was obsessed with it and always asked her to turn it on. She ended up putting it in an empty fish tank so I couldn't touch it. I now own 3 of them and I turn them on whenever I want. For the ones who make over $150,000 a year, what do you do to get that? Orthopedic surgeon. Made big sacrifices socially/traveling/income during 20s and early 30s while training. I'm 36 years old, just starting my 3rd year of practice, and make $840,000 straight salary. Probably work about 55 hours/week. It's incredibly rewarding but also very stressful. So this doesn't help anyone, but it certainly fits. I worked sales for a company that sold ATMs. We hired a new guy first week on the job. A Chinese bank cold call him and order, no joke, 20,000 ATMs. The dude got his bonus check and quite. He make over 200,000 that year, lol. What would be neat is if everyone also included the number of hours they work per week. I'm in B2B technical sales. I sell industrial starch to paper mills and charcoal plants. Base salary is $135K/year. Over the past 5 years, bonus has ranged from $40,000, $70,000 based off company performance. We mostly hire engineers or at least people with technical background for our sales roles. Till, The Lord of the Rings is presented as a translation of a book originally written in Westrin, the common speech of Middle-earth. Therefore, Frodo Baggins' real name in Westrin is Morole Binji. I'm talking the ring to Mordor here. He should be running for mayor of the Shire instead of saving it. Someone asked George R.R. Martin about the characters speaking English and he immediately was like, well, they're not speaking English, they are speaking the common tongue, and you're very welcome for my translation, lol. I love fantasy nerds. People in their 40s, what's something people in their 20s don't realize is going to affect them when they age? The benefits of working out. My father started regularly working out in his 40s. Nothing extreme, just consistent. He is now 87 and is still in great health. All of his doctors have credited the fact that he started regularly taking care of himself as the reason why he is doing so well. Now, the flip side of that, he has had to deal with a lot of loss, including my mother. Finding hobbies and other interests is more important than you think. Lack of physical activity is a huge one. Just because you aren't overweight does not mean you don't need regular exercise. The benefits go far beyond weight loss. Exercise maintains the health of your bones and joints, it also maintains many of your internal organ systems, and currently we're learning that it even helps to maintain the telomeres on your chromosomes, effectively slowing down the aging process itself. If you haven't figured out a balanced diet and exercise routine by the time you are 40, you're going to start seeing negative quality of life impacts. Not wearing ear protection at concerts. Having tinnitus sucks. What is a rich person thing that you would be totally into if you became rich? Tailored clothes. I hate the way clothes are made these days. So I would definitely get my clothes made specifically for me. Professional cleaners. My boss got rich and upgraded to the daily cleaner, does everything including putting away kids' toys level cleaning, and man, his kids are going to be spoiled as shit, but what a joy to have a daily cleaned home. Isolating myself in a lake house for a couple years till I go insane trying to write a novel. And maybe buy a pair of Crocs. A personal chef, holy fuck. What's a hack in your industry that customers aren't supposed to find out? Orchestral violinist. Sometimes we don't play all the notes. I worked at a restaurant and one time the chef burned the applesauce that was supposed to be served with the pork chop. He put it on the menu as smoked applesauce and people loved it. What are some signs you're conventionally ugly? People will be more rude to you. In general, it makes everything just a little harder than if you were good looking. I'm edited out of work photos that end up in our marketing. Instead of calling me handsome, my grandmother would have a glass of wine, tell me I'm funny looking and laugh about it. What's the scariest fact you know in your profession that no one else outside of it knows? The detergent pods will eventually gunk up your washing machine. VetMed has one of the highest suicide rates of all professions due to a mix of emotional and financial stress, combined with easy access to fatal drugs. Almost everyone in the industry knows at least one person who has died by suicide. As a librarian, you'd be horrified how many books we get returned and have to throw out because they're absolutely covered in bed bugs. We put a block on accounts and notify patrons, but I'm specifically told not to mention this problem to the public whatsoever by management. What methods do you have for coping with anxiety? Cognitive restructuring, my favorite being looking for evidence of my worries/thoughts being unlikely, incoherent, or incorrect. For example, my friends probably hate me. What evidence do I have that could prove this? What evidence do I have to prove that they, in fact, do not? I'll go out and get groceries/something I've been meaning to get for my place. Not like impulse buying, but like something I need that I've just been putting off. Gets me doing something productive, I'm outside, and then I feel one step ahead of where I was when I was feeling like S. Playing music, gym, or just any hobby really. Millennials, what's a phrase we'd always hear growing up that you'd never hear today? We'll look it up when we get home. Can you hand me the map book? This is your brain on drugs. From you, I learned it from watching you. Eject disk 1 and insert disk 2 to continue installation. I got it. When the house phone rang. Call after 9 p.m. when it's free. What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and the year is 2005? Breathe a huge sigh of relief and do everything differently. I'm firing up Halo 2 on Xbox Live ASAP. Assuming I'm back to the age I was, I'd do everything differently, make better and lasting friendships, nurture talents like singing or some sport. I'd just make a better version of myself. Go pee. I almost always have to pee when I wake up. I'd hug my sister. She died in 2006. What's a 10/10ths movie you'd never watch again? The Father. Anthony Hopkins' best performance. My mother's Alzheimer's mirrors his so much that I can't watch it again. I'm just here to get new movie recommendations. Wind River. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen, and I would prefer never to see it again. At the same time, I will recommend it to anyone who will listen. Sharing the Trauma. Grave of the Fireflies. Till, the Simple Sabotage Field Manual was declassified in 2008 and it contains advice on how spies can sabotage the enemy by just being maliciously incompetent. Advice include praising inefficient co-workers, cry and sob frequently at work, asking inane questions in meetings, and spreading gossip. Jesus, there must be a bunch of spies at my workplace. I once watched a documentary on spies during World War II, specifically British organizations in charge of capturing German spies trying to infiltrate. They were pretty good at it too, and after capturing and interrogating them they would try and determine if they could be convinced to switch sides. I don't remember who it was, but for one of the captured spies, after his interview it was concluded that he's either incompetent or a master spy. Either way he's useless to us. Shit, I already do those things, but I swear it's just cause I'm dumb. Well off people of Reddit, what is the poorest thing you still regularly do? Wait for sales. Use coupons. I still have a drawer dedicated to fast food sauces. I must extract every last bit of toothpaste from the tube. Shampoo. Add more water, shake, and get another few days out of it. Well off. Well, that's relative. Hang on to crap I don't need in case it might be useful someday, and I'd have to buy it again and couldn't afford to. I do a purge every few months, a stack of unburned CDs from around 2000, really, but the pack rat instinct runs deep. Just send me the invoice, so I sent it 14 times. The best way to get forgotten invoices paid I've ever seen was a very early web hosting company in the 90s. If the customer didn't pay on time, their website would get redirected to an error page saying site unavailable because company name doesn't pay bills on time. One of the places I work at, a large outpatient medical center, forgets to pay the satellite TV bill from time to time. You turn on the TV and there's a banner on the TV to call this number to pay your bill with no station availability. Our section will leave the TV on anyway, even after getting calls from administration to turn off all of the TVs. It's an absolute embarrassment. Like and subscribe.